Okay, we've gone ahead and done our surface detail with the alpha on our S. Let's go ahead and do a different technique to the B. We're going to use the clay tubes and the pinch in combination to get wavy, looking lines out of it. And so the clay tubes is going to be really useful for sculpting in general. It's going to be a real useful tool you're going to want to get comfortable with for a variety of things. But one of the things it does really well is it makes these lines that are real noticeable, and it kind of behaves like it's adding geometry all the time. So it's not going to have as much stretch and warp as a lot of your other brushes, and so it's going to be a real good one to use when you want a lot of dynamic detail, and you want just a foundation that you can add dynamic detail to later. And so with that being said, I'm going to go through and do some straps, do some just some free flowing lines here. And what this is going to do here in a second, what we're going to do with these is we're going to pull and pinch them and really make them a little bit more sharp and dynamic. So I want to add a little bit more to each of them, thicken them up a little bit. How I'll do that, I actually kind of like this angular area, and so I'm going to keep it as it is and go into it and angle it out a bit more here in a second. These areas here I won't waste time with, so we'll just do this main section. Make the brush a little smaller and draw another tube on top of the ones you have existing, and that'll give you a little bit more of a raised topology too. It's good for your health. So this is fine the way it is, because I'm going to be sharpening it and pulling it here in a second. That's going to lend it to a little bit different look than just kind of a fat chubby squiggle. So let's check that out. Let's see the polish tool and see what that does for us. Polish is nice. I find it to be, you use it on flat surfaces, you use it to kind of organize flat surfaces more than anything else. For like if you have like a edge of a blade, and you're wanting two pieces of it to look a little better around them where they join, you can use that. I'm going to use the flatten here, which is going to kind of press everything together. And I'm going to use the flatten on my curve to get a little bit more of a raised feel on each side. And so that, when you're trying to make blades, when you're getting into that type of topology, your flatten is going to end up being a pretty useful little handyman for you. Yeah, so we'll go through and flatten these, and so after you flatten, to get even more out of it, we'll go in and slash our base edge, our tiny edge, and what happens when we do that? That's a little too thick. Turn our intensity down, and there we go. It's a little. So we're getting a little bit more definition out of our initial curve, and then you can go in and shift smooth the area on the inside of your divide, and it'll give you a little bit better detail, more noticeable detail, especially from far away. So it's just light, a little bit of light pressure there and smooth it on that end to refine it a bit more. And then the last thing we'll do with these pieces initially is we will pinch. We'll use the pinch tool. And you've got to be careful with the pinch tool because sometimes you'll pull too many faces away from where you want detail. But we'll use the pinch tool and sharpen out our detail here. So again, in ZBrush there are a lot of different ways to get the desired look you're going for, and this is just one of many. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to go through and do that detail on all these now.